Good evening from New York. Today, thoughts on mental health and Kamala energy. Well, I've talked a lot about how the brain jumps in when there's trauma to, something that damages your ability to be loved or to love. And and how that gets changed into symbols that are more attainable, so that your anxiety is less, and that anxiety from that kind of helplessness is extreme, um, and damaging. So when someone's more symbolic than they are real, uh, that's what I'm talking about. I say that, and that's what you're seeing in this MAGA crowd. There's a lot of it's fake, you know. When someone's talking to you and it feels off and weird, then it's not moving you. It's not inspiring you. It's uh, it's weirding you out. And the Republicans are just plain weird now. I mean, they are lost. And it's very symbolic. I mean, if you see any more, it's like this ostentatious kind of display of patriotism. Meanwhile, trying to make our presidency something that resembles a monarchy. Really? And this is what's really happening. That's weird, especially in this country. That's really weird. And I think people are waking up to the weirdness. And Trump can't draw a crowd anymore, hardly. And Kamala is packing the stands, so to speak. I think it was 20 some thousand at her last two speeches. And I think this Vance guy he had 200 people. You know, I don't think we've ever seen such weirdness in the United States. We've seen cruelty, we've seen oppression, we've seen racism and all kinds of horrible, sinful behaviors. But this weirdness is just out of bounds. I mean, you'd have to be a little weird yourself to vote for that kind of weirdness. It's off key. It's not genuine. You don't feel anything genuine about Trump and his followers. It's, waving the American flag, but not really supporting what it stands for. Symbolic, but not in touch, not emotionally, not intellectually, and, mm, and not spiritually, really. Three strikes, you're out. You know, Kamala, on the other hand, is firing on all cylinders. The energy is amazing. The money's flowing, the people are flowing. She doesn't have to pay for a lot of her, uh, you know, advocating videos, because people are doing it for free. Yeah, we're doing it for free because she is somebody that we can believe in. She believes in law and order. She was a prosecutor, and Trump was a felon, is a felon, and he's mentally ill. If you love the guy, his friends and family should be putting this poor fellow into a place where he can heal. in a facility for the emotionally ill, so that maybe you can save this guy. So following him is like encouraging a drunk to drink. It's like, if you have somebody in your family that has a drinking problem, you don't encourage them to drink. And this is what they're doing with Trump. They're encouraging him to drink, to keep believing in his delusions, to keep advocating things that are absolutely bizarre. And yeah, well, and not that he really believes some of it, some of it nobody in their right mind could believe. And he's halfway, at least, I think, in his right mind on occasion. Must realize that he's telling lies. Yeah. That's the felon part, right? He's lying. He knows he's lying. He's at least sane enough to know he's lying. But otherwise, he's completely over the cliff. Now, it's not about good and evil. I mean, I hear all of this kind of argument going on, and it's a human perspective of a very complex world. It's overly simplified. Um, but we do know that it's problematic to be out of touch with real feelings and real needs and real empathy for your fellow human beings. And it's problematic in a way that can be very painful to people and detrimental to their health and their longevity. Put it that way. Well, lynchings in the past. Um, do we really want to go back to that? This is constantly, we've said this as Democrats. If you want your car to go forward, you put it in D. If you want to go backwards, you put it in R. And they've been clinging to some kind of vision of the past that is not accurate at all. It's like glorified. I mean, come on, if you're seeking to glorify your country, give it a reason, give people a reason to believe that there's something glorious about it. And you only do that by making real progress. And the Republicans have tried to turn words like progress and progressive into bad words, with their tone of voice. They're a progressive. They're a progressive. Isn't that terrible? Look it up in the dictionary. Liberal. Liberal, they're liberals. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are wonderful terms. And if socialism is paying things fairly with taxes, then count me in. You know, but if it's government control for everything, count me out. But Democrats are not crazy like that. They're just not. We see the value of capitalism. We see the value of things being paid by taxes. And when you say, well, what's fair? Well, for one thing, calling workers, and not realizing that they are trading partners, that just as they can be a benefit to a business or a cost to a business, hey, business can be a cost or a liability for the worker, you know, you know, and yeah, the benefit, of course. But yeah, this is a time where things are out in the open more, and there's more transparency, and that's a good thing. People are going to start realizing that when Republicans say that they're for safety in the workplace and then limit all of the people who enforce it because government's bad, they're putting workers at risk. And, yeah, I've experienced that. I mean, there was a company that didn't have a proper signaling, you know, for their, it's a trucking dock, right? And there was not a proper signaling going on as to whether the truck was pulling out or still needed to be loaded. And when usually young men would go into the trailer, try to go into the trailer, and the trailer pulls away, down goes the this heavy, very heavy forklift. And what do they get for that? Of course, they're at fault, not the business. So they fired them. Wow. That's why you need unions. And if big business can organize, so can workers. They're trading partners. Give respect to the workers. We've talked workers into an attitude, many of them, into an attitude that they're not trading partners. They don't recognize the value of their work. They can't organize, they can't demand a raise, even when the profits are soaring. That's wrong. That's just simply wrong. Period. Exclamation point. So there's a very stark difference, as Kamala tells us, between the vision that she has and the vision that Trump has. And her taking on of Tim Walz, he's an advocate for workers. Yeah. And, when you hear people whining that, oh, he's leaving, he's not paying attention to his state because he's out campaigning. Oh, this kind of whining is just uh, beneath the dignity that any human being should aspire to. I mean, come on. How are you going to pick a vice president? Are you going to pick somebody that has no experience in governments? Really? you know, current experience. Okay, so that means you're going to grab somebody that has that's working currently and doing a good job. And look, you can always replace Tim with another really great Democrat. Nothing to worry about. Quit whining. The Republican Party is becoming the party of whiners and bizarre weirdos. And if you want to identify with that, well, that's easy. Decorate your car with thousands of American flags and support a guy that wants to be a dictator. And yeah, okay. So I'm going to end this, and I'm going to sing my blessing for you. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Or her hand or its hand, however you see, the source of all love. And remember what Carl Sagan said, we are the universe knowing itself. And what does that mean? That means you aren't just in a world full of wonder, you're part of that wonder, and so is everyone else. And when you say hello or goodbye to anybody else, you should strive to see that they are a wonder, part of the same wonder that you are, showing respect and caring. And there's a word in India, well, it's not a word, I keep saying it. It's a greeting and a goodbye in India. And it says what Carl Sagan said. And that statement is namaste. So, namaste, y'all. Make a better day. You know you can. Namaste.